So, you've bought a catch and release ticket for your fishery, or you filled your bag and now you've got to put your fish back. But are you doing it the best way to keep the fish in tip-top condition? Hello, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to my house. We're not out on the bank for this one, it's only a short video, but for me it's an important video. We're into the cooler months now, and once we reach these, a lot of fisheries allow catch and release. But one thing I see on the bank way too much is poor handling of the trout. You see way too many people pull them out of the water, let them flap around on the bank, and then put them back. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be keeping the fish in the net, in the water, as much as we can when unhooking them and touching them as little as possible. So I want to have a quick talk through a few different scenarios so people can get an idea of how they should be releasing fish so they stay as healthy as possible. Trout aren't cheap. It's not so bad on kill venues where everything you catch is dispatched. But if you're going to put fish back for other people to catch, do your best to keep them in as best condition as possible. Now, first of all, the most important thing is always wet your hands before sending fish back. If you touch your fish with a dry hand or a dry piece of clothing, you are removing the protective slime from them. That protective slime is a barrier against germs, infections, these type of things. And without that, it's potentially a recipe for disaster. So let's have a look to start with at some of the things that will help you with better trout care. Now for me, barbless hooks are a must. A lot of venues with catch and release insist on barbless or debarbed. I personally don't like debarbed. Even once they've been crushed, sometimes you don't get them properly and it leaves a little bit of a nick still. And it just makes it that little bit more difficult to get the hook out with minimal contact with the fish. If you can, it's not everyone's preference, I know, but my personal preference is to buy engineered purely barbless, or buy flies from companies that tie them on barbless hooks. For example, if I don't tie my own, I buy mine from Alan at Fritz Flies, and all of his Stillwater flies are barbless. In fact, I think all of his flies are barbless. So let's just have a quick look at another reason now why I like barbless. Another reason I like barbless hooks when fishing catch and releases, on occasion you don't even have to unhook the fish. It's just gone over to the net, we've dropped the rod down, the line's gone slack, and that line going slack, the flies come out on its own, we take it out of the net, we've not touched that fish once, he has not been harmed in the slightest, and he's ready to go home. That is the perfect release, it cannot get better, no contact at all. Hopefully that last short bit of footage has shown you an advantage of barbless hooks. Now, what about if you come across a fish that you've just nicked it in the mouth, nice and easy. It's not right down its throat. So let's have a little bit of footage now about how you can get this one back as quick as possible. So this fish is just lightly hooked. He's in the net, I've popped the rod down. He's not come out of the water. And before I unhook him, I've noticed and wet my hands. It took a second for him to settle, and then just with my finger and thumb, not touch the fish, just pop the hook out of his mouth. Pulled everything out of the way so there's nothing risk catching him or marking him as he goes back, and he goes home. So we've just ran through lightly hooked fish, and next slide is going to be on better hooked fish, let's say. Ones where the hook's really into the mouth, or it's a little bit inside. Not all the way back to the throat, just on the inside where you can't get your fingers in unhook without touching it. So we'll have a look at that now.
Now, you are going to get fish that are better hooked or slightly inside the mouth, and you are going to have to touch them to a degree. Now, I will say my hands were already wet at this stage because I'd caught plenty. Don't pull them out of the net. Don't get them on the bank. Just let them settle and take a firm hold of them. Don't squeeze, don't grip. And then with your other hand, just pop the hook out of his mouth with your finger and thumb or forceps. Put him back in the net and send him home. Minimal contact. It can't be helped at times, but it's as least as possible.
Now, on the subject of better hooked fish, you are going to experience fish that have been really aggressive and taken the fly right back into the throat. Please, please don't try and get that fly out. If it's all the way down, just snip the line as close as you can to the fly. The fish will hopefully pass it through, and with a barbless hook it'll be done easier. If you ever look at a trout's anatomy, the heart isn't far behind the back of the throat. So if you're prodding in there with your fingers trying to get a hook out that's well embedded or got forceps down there, you risk doing damage to the organs. It might swim off, but the chances are if you've caught its heart or other organs, it's going to swim off, and then shortly after it's going to die. And that's not what we want when we're doing catch and release. Just think about it. A fish's life isn't worth a £1.50 fly. Now, we are anglers. We love to document our catches. We love to be able to look back on things that we've caught. And yes, every now and then we get lucky and we catch something that we want to hold up for the camera. So let's have a look at a bit of footage where I've getting a fish out, which is rare for me. But let's just see how I've done it. So it's controlled, it's safe, and the fish isn't harmed. We get our photo and the fish goes back.
Every now and then you do catch a fish that you find special. Maybe it's your first fish, maybe it's a PB, and you do want a photo occasionally. I don't like getting them out, but if you are, roll your sleeves up, get as much of your arms and hands wet as you can. Don't put them on the bank, lift them firmly out of the net and stay low to the ground. Hold them up for a few seconds so you can get the photos that you want, just like now. Take a good look at them and let's get them back home. I've not stood up, I've kept him low to the ground. I'm in control of the fish. I've lowered him down to the water, and when he's ready, I send him on his way.
So we've gone through a few scenarios where we've caught some fish, different hooking situations, and hopefully that's given you some idea of how we can keep the fish that we're catching in the best condition we can. Respect them, respect the fishery, respect other anglers by giving them the opportunity to catch them. Now, what I will say is I fully appreciate that not everybody is in maybe a physical position where they can get close to the water and follow the slides that we've just been through. If you do have to get a fish out for any specific reason regarding physical attributes, try and find somewhere that's soft, preferably damp, where the fish isn't going to flap around. We really don't want to be taking that slime off. It's the worst thing that can happen for them. Well, that's it. It's a really short video. It was a off-the-cuff idea because last time I was out fishing I saw some questionable actions, and like I said, not everybody maybe quite understands the significance of keeping the fish in the water as much as you can, not touching them as much as you can. If you have enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I hope you have picked something up, and if one person who watches this thinks maybe I can do something a little bit different, it's been worth recording. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.